Hi, my name is Asbjørg Dunker and I'm a research theory and practice tutor here at Istituto Marangoni. My background is quite diverse. I have a fashion design degree, but I realized after I educated that I was not so interested in taking an idea from beginning and creating clothes. I was more interested in what clothes do to people. So after starting teaching, I also began styling, and basically I've done styling for 20 years. I've got a couple of academic degrees because I wanted to inform myself on the broader picture of fashion semiotics, design analysis, fashion analysis, but also historical perspectives on and communicative aspects on what fashion is. The truth is that there's nothing superficial about fashion.
My name is Angela. I've currently turned 19. I'm from Sofia, Bulgaria, and I'm taking the course of fashion styling at the Istituto Marangoni, London. I knew that I wanted to do fashion when I was trying to find my university, but the kind of problem was that I wanted to do too much. I wanted to explore every kind of area in fashion. So when I found out about the course in fashion styling at the Istituto Marangoni, London, it was perfect for me because it allowed me to explore everything that fashion kind of gave, like photography, history, design, everything combined in one course, so that's why I chose it.
In Istituto Marangoni, what we teach our students here is to not only design clothes, not only make an amazing styling, but also to understand fashion in a much bigger picture, in a much broader context, and understand the psychology, the philosophy, the mechanics, the manufacturing, all those aspects that makes fashion the big industry that it is today. Being a fashion stylist is probably one of the most complex tasks in the fashion industry. A stylist is actually an octopus. They hold together makeup artists, hairdressers, models, outfits, PR agencies, photographers, a whole range of people in order to create that image that all of us will eventually see in a magazine or in an advertisement campaign, online or offline, wherever.
It's kind of hard to choose one favorite aspect of the course because I love every single part about it. I love that I do photography, I love that we're allowed to do design, I love that I'm studying also history and history of art and not just design and clothes. So everything about the course is just perfect. I love it.
At Istituto Marangoni, it's very important for us that our students are very well equipped, not just from the practical perspective, but also from the intellectual perspective, understanding what it is that they're doing. The image-making industry is vast, it's big, and it's very, very influential. Some of the abilities that you need to have in order to attend one of, well, our courses here at Marangoni is predominantly curiosity. You'll learn a lot, but you need to be curious. You need to want to know, want to expand, want to be pushed, want to discover. Of course, as a tutor, it's my obligation to make sure that you never feel alone, that you're never lost in the track, but that you're actually also supported throughout developing not just practical skills or gaining tools, but understanding what your own skills are. As a creative, you will discover your path because you have to invent it as you go along. We're not lawyers, we're not bankers, we're not doctors. We're creatives who are inventing, putting things together from new ways, new combinations. In fact, creating stuff, if not entirely from new, but at least creating it from new ways of seeing things. So you have to also learn to trust your own creativity, trust your own capacity, and that's why it's so important for us not just to deliver tools, but actually help the students discover their own skills.
An advice from me for someone that would want to take the course is just be bold, take risks, don't be afraid to do mistakes. Mistakes are the best things in life, and just be yourself.
If you're burning for your creativity and you want to develop your talent, not the title alone, but develop the tools, then Istituto Marangoni is the right place for you.
I'm Viola. I've been studying at the Istituto Marangoni for 3 years at fashion styling, and I graduated in 2013. I currently work as fashion coordinator in Paris at the corresponding office of Vogue Italia, or better, Edizioni Condé Nast. So it's mainly Vogue Italia, but it's also Glamour Italy, Vanity Fair, GQ, L'Uomo Vogue. There are quite a few different magazines. And I'm fashion coordinator, as I said, so I basically organize with PRs all of the looks and fashion that is needed on photo shoots around the world. So I mainly have relationships with PRs in fashion brands, and I take care of organizing what stylists requests on fashion shoots. We often have clients, so we have a certain list of brands that we need to use, and stylists select looks within the brands, and I need to try and have as many looks as possible for the photo shoot. It's not easy because the looks are requested by all magazines around the world, so it's kind of a competition to have as many looks as possible between all magazines. And basically my job is to push and to have a good relationship with the brand, but also to try and have as many looks as possible for the stylist and obviously for the magazine. My best experience at Istituto Marangoni was probably finding myself, thanks to the teachers, my personal projects, my friends at the time. I was a young student, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do in my life, and that was the time when I really found myself. So it's always going to be a very happy time in my life, just the fact of finding me, finding my motivation, and the general experience at Istituto Marangoni. The teaching method at Istituto Marangoni I think is really great. I had teachers who were professionals, and actually all teachers are professionals, and I think it's very important because the world of fashion, but the world in general nowadays, is changing so fast that if you're not on a day-to-day basis on projects and working in the fashion world directly, it's going to be very hard for you to teach to your students relevant information. For me, it was very important as a student to have professors and teachers that could give me practical and real examples of what had happened to them on the job, so that I could use it immediately in my own personal projects. And it was also very useful after, in my, at the beginning of my career, to have all of their experiences as a baggage already. I remember that one of my first projects at Condé Nast Italia was for Glamour Italy. I went to a shoot and I remember being absolutely shocked by the amount of people present on set, because I was personally used to working obviously in very small groups with just the photographer and then me doing the styling and one model. So it would be a tiny group of people. Being on set for a big production is incredible, and at the beginning I couldn't understand how you would need so many people to create an image, which could be quite simple. Actually, I learned very quickly that you absolutely need everybody. So starting from the photographer to the last intern, everyone is absolutely necessary on a photo shoot. And it's really great when you get a good vibe going and you see the result. So the picture is always going to be the memory of that time. For me, when it happened for the first few times, it was extremely emotional, and it's something that I'm going to have for my whole life, so I'm very happy about that. I think the main advice I would give a future Istituto Marangoni student is to really love fashion, not the glamour of it, not the glitz, not the magic of it, but really love it on a more intellectual level. Really appreciate the work that there is behind it, almost see it as art, because you're going to have to give so much, you're going to have to work so much, there are going to be long hours, it's going to be tiring, and you're going to want to leave it all at some point and you're going to think it's not worth it. But if you love the result and you love what you're doing, then it's absolutely worth it. And I think that you need to love fashion itself, almost as if it were art, to really be able to do it and to dedicate your life to it in some way. I mean, part of your life, let's say.